go live.
Hello, welcome to the pre-show of the WPL. The big night is here. The final is RCB taking on the Delhi Capitals. Everyone's super excited. I'm sure Gagi, who's at the stadium as well. How's the mahal out there, Gagi? I can see some crowd already building up. But before we get to you, I have Bharat joining us, Trisha, of course, and Gagi, who's at the stadium. Gagi, what's the mahal like? How's the atmosphere? It's the big final, finally. So I'm sure it must be packed.
Packed is an understatement because there's so much crowd here. Where I'm standing right now, there's a bit of a relief because I've gone a little farther away from the stadium to find some empty space to do the show. But it's completely packed, and there's so much, as you can tell from the visuals, right? This is people have not even gone in yet, so it's very packed, and here people are screaming RCB, RCB. So
And
there's
clearly, you know which team is being.
Yes.
You know which team has their
definitely. I was coming from the metro, and even to get out of the metro station, it takes 10 minutes because the queues are so long from all the fans. And there was a constant RCB versus DC chant fight going on. Some would scream RCB and some would scream DC, but I'll say that in the chant war, RCB won.
No, but this is fantastic. I think all these visuals out here, I think all of us can proudly say that the WPL season has been a success. Trisha, just have a look at these visuals. Isn't it so fantastic to see such a big crowd build up? Because you and me have had conversations off camera of how, crowds don't turn up, but I think we've been proven wrong.
And gladly so. Pleasant. When Gargi was sending me these visuals, my only reaction was, I don't care who wins, who loses. Honestly, finally, women's cricket is getting the recognition that they have always deserved, and I couldn't have been happier. It's so good to see this. I hope that the turnout remains similar next year for the other teams also, but RCB, of course, has turned out to be the loved franchisee that it is even in men's cricket.
Yes, 100%. Bharat, let's talk about the game here. Your first thoughts of this cracker that's going to be, started really soon. Delhi Capitals, a team that's only lost 2 games in the whole season. RCB is somewhat like that dark horse that somehow manages to win out of situations that seem impossible. So let's build this up.
Really biased.
Sneha, she should sing RCB. Clearly, he's extremely biased as well. But Bharat, build this game up. Your first thoughts.
Yeah, even at the start of the tournament, I had a kind of gut feeling. I don't know. I'm not saying it in hindsight, but even then, I had a gut feeling that RCB will do something. So that we have seen right with the tournament, that how they come through with those narrow wins. They have pulled off a east or two. So that kind of when you win from such situations, when you win. Just like they did in the eliminator as well, they were 34 for 3 or 40 odd for 4, and then they went on to score those runs 135. And again, when MI were chasing down, they looked like they could win 115 for 3 or whatever, and then they went on to lose. So when you win this kind of games, you feel like you can do anything. So I know DC have some very good players, Cap, Lanning and all, but Jemima and all, but somehow I am feeling RCB will win this. I don't know. I'm not saying, I'm not put my analyst hat on, but that's what my gut feel says.
No, you're right, Bharat. Gagi, Bharat mentioned a very important point here of holding your nerve, and this RCB team has managed doing that really well. So how important would it be to hold your nerve in such a big final? Because at times you might lose your cool, you might feel the nerves. So how important is it to just hold your nerves and see it through?
Oh, it's incredibly important, extremely important. And I say this time and again, every time we have a very important match, say a semi-final or a final, it's all about holding the nerves because, already these teams are one of the best in the world, and these players are one of the best in the world. It's not about skills at this point. It's all about tactics and getting ahead of the other team. And of course, about getting that pressure right, holding your nerve, and not succumbing under the pressure. That we saw RCB doing that very well in the eliminator against MI, because it was such a difficult match, and at no point in the game could you tell who was going to win that match. But again, it wasn't about skill at that point. It was about tactics and it was about holding pressure. So it's incredibly important very important for the two teams, for the two captains to keep their mind cool. Of course, Meg Lanning has a lot
Yeah.
more experience in this area because seven-time World Cup winner. So she's good at doing that clearly. But I think this will be a test for Smriti Mandana to kind of come up as this captain, as well as breaking that curse, that RCB curse, because once she does that, I think if RCB win tonight, it's going to be absolute mayhem caused
Mm.
across India for RCB fans, because they've never seen the men's team win, and there's going to be this comparison which Virat Kohli versus Smriti Mandana as captains, even though it might not be as fair a fair comparison, but it would certainly give a lot of popularity to the women's game. So this will be a test for Smriti Mandana, I think so.
100% Ragi. Very
Yeah.
well said. But this is RCB's best chance for sure, Trisha. I mean, the whole team seems to be working together, and they have Elise Perry. Now, Elise Perry seems to be winning matches all by herself. So it should technically be Elise Perry versus Delhi Capitals. But Elise Perry is that player who can just take the game away from you. And the way she's performed the last two games, I think RCB have the clear edge out here.
Absolutely, yes. I think Ellis Perry has been outstanding. In fact, outstanding probably is not even defining how good she has been. Um, Also, just one small thing that Delhi has won the toss and they have decided to bat first,
Okay.
which very very interesting decision, and probably the correct decision too, considering it's the big finals, and this pitch has been used for the last four games, so it will be at its slowest best in the second half. So I think it's going to be tough, but as you said, I think you have picked up the correct name, Perry, with another magical spell, the kind that she bowled against MI. Maybe not six wickets every day, but also two, three important wickets, and could be very, very, very crucial.
Yeah.
And then again, when she comes out to bat, she'll play the pivotal role. That has been her role in, and how well has she done? It's almost like
Amazing.
Ishan, the biggest difference between RCB of last year and RCB of this year has been Ellis Perry, to be very honest. Though a lot of other players have performed, so directly you can't say that. But to be very honest, if you see match-winning performances alone, you will see a lot of it has come from Ellis Perry, either with the bat or with the ball. So yes, and I can see people constantly running behind Gargi. Gargi, why are people running behind you? What has happened?
I think Gagi has
Nothing.
fans for herself.
Everyone's just trying to get in, and there's always a chaos of where is the gate, where is the gate, and so everyone's just going. I've seen, I think, around four people who have made the same round, I think, four times now. So, and every time he passes me, he says DC. So I'm sure, I don't know where his gate is, but I hope he finds it soon and gets inside, because the queues are growing longer, and it takes a long time to get inside. So yeah, and I'll just show you guys
Please
all
do.
the crowds that are coming in.
Okay,
Over there,
it's
there's a
a
gate over
massive
here.
build.
So yeah, there's a
Massive
massive
build up.
build up over here.
RCB jerseys, Ishan. It's all RCB jerseys. I for a moment I
What's
actually
the
thought the game is in Delhi. I was like, haha, no, it's in Delhi.
Actually, the thing is, there are RCB jerseys, but they're all Virat Kohli jerseys for some reason. Because obviously, there aren't many
yeah.
sellers who sell the Smriti Mandana or the women's cricket jerseys. So you have those. At least, everyone's making an effort to support their favorite teams.
Like,
DC, I've seen a lot of jerseys as well. And people who don't have either of them, they're just wearing India jerseys. So, it's the thought that counts.
I think they just love a cricket, so I think that's the positive sign from that. But Trisha, you mentioned a very interesting point there that Alice Perry has been the consistent performer. So hypothetically, if she happens to fail in the final, you think this RCB team can hold on and possibly push through, or do you think they're going to crumble under pressure?
I think they will be under a lot of pressure because of the crowd. I mean, while in other matches the crowd can be a support, in final matches a little bit of a two-edged sword, especially because RCB is not a new, it's not a new franchise.
Yeah.
We also know that these fan followings are coming into the game with, I mean, from the IPL as well. So there's always that narrative that, the men haven't done it for 15 years.
Hmm.
Can the women do it? They have lost in the finals as well. Uh, so I think there's a lot running around this whole
Yeah.
narrative. So they'll be under immense pressure, and we have seen, be it Smriti, be it Richard, they haven't been great under pressure as of like as yet. Smriti doesn't have a great record in knockouts either. So I think, there's a steering factor, there's a calming factor in the team. That's Perry. So if Perry can be kept quiet, both with the bat and the ball, uh, then yes, RCB could be put under a lot of pressure, and
Yeah.
you might as well get a very very um like put them in extremely difficult conditions.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Bharat, we've hyped up RCB a lot. Let's talk about the Delhi Capitals here for a bit. Meg Lanning, Jemima Rodriguez, Shafali Verma. Let's speak on Meg Lanning, the captain, because she's led from the front, and again, a lot of expectations on her to do the same tonight.
See, Meg Lanning, she has won everything, I guess. So that also multiple times. So obviously, for her leading a side is something that I guess it's like eating some ice cream or something like that, because it's become like that for her. Because for so long I've been following women's cricket, and every time it seems like she has a title in her hand. So uh, obviously, there are other players as well, as you already noted. Jemima, I'm also looking forward to this cap. I think she's a brilliant pace bowler. The way she look at her grip, the way she sometimes hits the pitch, and gets the ball to move around a little bit. Tall bowler as well. So there are a lot of great players. Now, one more point I wanted to add about Ellis Perry.
Sure.
I transport myself back to 2010. Those days, obviously, there was not a lot of live coverage of women's cricket. So there was, I think, a New Zealand Australia final going on. That's only the second time or something I watched Ellis Perry play. So it was the final over. I guess New Zealand needed some 10 runs, 8 runs, or whatever. The first ball, Ellis Perry bowled. Sophie, it was young Sophie Devine who just nudged it around towards the onside, and this young girl, moved across to her left, or moved across towards right. Then she tried to dive and had a kind of collision with her with Ellis Perry, her namesake from New Zealand, and then still she ran across and quickly stopped the ball. Obviously, there was no way that they could have stopped that single, but that competitive spirit on view. That is where I thought, oh, this girl is not just a talented cricketer; she's something else, and that kind of competitive spirit you could see it in the eliminator as well. I think that's what makes Perry really great. Yeah, I just kind of went away from the topic. The Delhi Capitals, obviously,
No,
they're a
that's
great
fine
team,
because it truly
but I
is
just wanted to
Elise
mention.
Perry's world, and we're just living in it, like how Trisha had mentioned before.
No, but
So it's
the
fine.
thing
It's
that I'm
fine.
taking from today's show is Meg Lanning
Rukja.
cups like eating ice cream.
Hey
That
guys,
Yeah,
was
I
that's the
have
highlight. I
I
think
have some
that can
fans
go
with me
viral,
here.
Bharat. Well done.
Just
that
sorry to interrupt you.
yes.
कौन जीतेगा आज?
आरसीबी
आपको क्या लगता
आरसीबी
है?
जीतेगा।
RCB.
किसको देखना चाहते हो आज?
समृति मंदाना।
स्मृति मंदाना।
मेरा भी
आप?
सेम ही है।
एलिस पेरी ने जो इतना बढ़िया खेला है पिछले 2-3 दिनों में,
यस यस यस
कैसा लगता है? आप किसको सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं?
हम आरसीबी को।
आरसीबी
सोफी डिवाइन एंड मंदाना।
सोफी डिवाइन और मंदाना, क्या बात है? एक बार आरसीबी
ठीक है ठीक है।
आरसीबी चलो, थैंक यू गाइस, थैंक यू।
How amazing is that? I think this
Yeah,
RCB fan base is just something else.
absolutely.
Fascinating.
Absolutely.
Gagi, yeah, it's
Yes,
unbelievable,
guys,
this
are you
fan
asking
base.
me something?
It's
Yes.
Yes. My next question for you is that Delhi Capitals is batting first, and Shafali Verma has been in pretty good form. So it's the finals; she has to deliver. This is a format. Speak on Shafali Verma and the importance up the order.
Shafali Verma has been giving brilliant starts, although not as consistently as Delhi Capitals would
Yeah.
want. But she still put on a lot of good performances, and she's given them that aggressive starts. And not just Shafali, if we look at the top order, Meg Lanning is formidable because she's fiery right now.
Yeah.
Meg Lanning is fiery. Shafali Verma is firing. We've got Madison Cap who can come in later and tonk a few. So DC, when it comes to their batting, I don't see a lot of fault there unless they lose their top order. I think that's
Yes.
when they start to struggle a bit. But that's where they have to be wary of Elise Perry, because I think Elise Perry has cracked the Delhi pitch for some reason. I believe that she knows just where to bowl, and she knows how to get those wickets at this point.
Yeah.
So Elise Perry will be someone that not Meg Lanning, all of them need to be wary of. But I think DC's again. I can't even pick at this point as who is
Yeah.
better. There's no better team tonight, right? When it comes to team composition or who's doing better, both of these teams are doing very very well. So it's kind of hard to choose. It will be all about pressure, I think, Ishan.
So true. Trisha, Gagi mentioned a very nice point here, which, Elise Perry. So the Delhi Capitals batting lineup, would you suggest them to take it easy, see her off, and then maybe go after the other bowlers, or it's a final and, just go after Perry as well? But it's a risk. It's a massive risk.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a T20 game. You don't have
Yeah.
a chance seeing off. Like, you can't say 4 overs. We aren't gonna take any chances. But yes, I would say, you remember there was a particular IPL in which every team was actually ensuring that they were taking singles or twos of
Yeah.
Rashid Khan. Uh, you know.
Yes.
4 overs, but they were not taking the risk of hitting big shots so that they don't end up, giving him 1 wicket, because players like Perry, Rashid Khan,
Hmm.
you give them one, they take 3 more. So you don't want to do that, and that is where I think they have to play. Like, DC has to play Perry very smartly. Unnecessary risks don't need to be taken. If there's a bad ball to be hit, it should be a very typical cricket played against Perry's bowling. You hit the ball on its merits and do not try anything fancy, because if you try anything fancy and if she gets a 4 for in those 4 overs, then those 16 overs
Yeah,
become
game's
very,
over.
very.
Yep, I think it's important to play smart cricket. Bharat, any other interesting matchups you're looking out for?
Yeah, again, I have to bring up Perry only. Maybe I have Perry versus Shafali.
Yeah.
Perry, I think that these are the two players I'm looking forward to, because Shafali is someone who makes a lot of room, and Perry seems to have located the right length for these conditions. Her vast muscle memory, she's located the right length for these conditions,
Mhm.
and she will whip the ball back. Yeah, occasionally outswinger. So somewhere I have a feeling you could see her castling Shafali if it goes well for her.
True.
Yes,
I
and
agree with.
yeah, that's true. Trisha, Richa Ghosh has also had a fantastic last game, so I'm sure the RCB team will be banking on her as well, because you don't want to again rely on Perry too much. It's going to be that team effort that comes out tonight. So Richa Ghosh as well has a huge role to play, right?
Absolutely, and especially when RCB is chasing. I have always said that a player like Richa has, I think, her role is more cut out when, whether it's India or whether it's RCB, when they are chasing, it's a bigger, role for her, and I think that role suits her too, because
Hmm.
it's always, in a way, it's easier until unless you have given probably 200, 300 runs away. It's easier when you know that, okay, I need 8 runs per over, or I need to score 9 runs per over, so one risk and I'm good, or two risk, whatever. I mean, you can calculate that. And Ishan, I'll tell you what, I don't think RCB is over dependent on Perry. What I
Hmm.
do think is, it's that sort of a factor where the entire RCB team is playing around Perry, if that makes more sense. That's her role. So Richa behind the stumps has also has been a little mixed bag, but I would
Hmm.
say, in certain moments where she should remain calm, I have seen that improvement in Richa, and I'm glad. Overall, I think both Richa, the wicket keeper, and because this pitch is going to be slow
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
low. Now that it has been used for fourth consecutive match, so it will be slow and low, and hence I think Richa's role becomes way more important as
Is
a
it?
wicket keeper.
Is it that the old pitch is going to be used? I've been reading somewhere that the new pitch is going to be used. Sorry?
Smriti said that at the toss, and nobody really
Ah,
corrected.
okay. Pitch reports have been,
And the
Not
best part
consistent.
is, this time the pitch report says that 140 to 150 the average score. So everyone
oh.
buckle up for 180.
All right, this brings
And
us to the last. Yeah, yes, Gagi.
yeah, I just wanted to talk about this with Trisha. Sabinini
Hmm.
Meghna comes back into the squad. Bharat, Trisha, what do you guys think? Does this bolster the squad now?
I think this is the choice that should have been there. I don't know where did Disha Kasar, and no offense went to her. You cannot suddenly bring in a person the eliminator and say go at number 4 and do some job. I don't know what job. When Meghana was already doing a good job at number 3, in fact, one of the matches she opened as well. I would like to see Meghna opening with Smriti Mandana and not Sophie Molinu. But yeah, I think I'm happy with the move. Bharat, your thoughts?
Yeah, she has played the games earlier on, so that is why it was right to bring her back. But just I would add one point. That's from Meghna's point of view. For everything, she tries to play with a very high backlift and tries to crash it. Perhaps she has to do a little bit of modulation with her backlift, just tweak it a little bit. That could help her to become even better. I just wanted to add one more point. I've got feeling that somewhere if RCB bring Asha Sobna into the attacks somewhat earlier
Yeah.
on, if they take a gamble, she might just sneak in a wicket against
इधर
McLean.
देखो
I don't know what exactly, why I'm getting this,
Rev
but I
Sports,
just
ये
have a
देखो.
RCB supporters once
Everyone
again
just look at this.
Ah,
filled with red.
ओ सॉरी, एक बार आरसीबी करो ना. आप लोग जाओ. मैं ऐसे नहीं आरसीबी. I think I'm the only one chanting here.
oh wait,
What?
they have loads to show. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Who's that in the middle?
Uh,
Yeah, this
is it
passion is really good to see.
Oh yeah, nice.
the way? That's
I don't
that.
know. That is brilliant from you guys. RCB.
Uh,
हाँ हाँ.
of,
एक सेकंड.
Awesome. Okay, I
they
think
not
we're
very
nearing
close.
the end. Is Gagi there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
guys.
Okay,
I
we're
think
nearing the end of the show. For the last and final time, my favorite part of the show, predictions. Risha, it's a big one tonight,
I
so think it through.
I think I'll go for 145 DC and RCB win.
Okay, 145 DC and RCB wins. Bharat?
Yeah, already said it's not my analyst mind, but I've got a gut feeling for some days that RCB is going to clinch a title. Yeah, it might end today, but that's so
Okay.
I
How much is DC scoring though?
have to see the pitch without seeing without seeing the pitch. I am not
150 to 160.
okay.
Reach out
150,
The
160.
final
160
match.
RCB. Nice. And finally, Gagi, your thoughts?
Gargi
I think
instead of the fans, maybe.
oh,
Yeah.
yes. 1 second. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think DC scores 172 and DC win.
And DC wins.
Whoa!
Oh, bold move. I like it. I'm gonna
Disha
say
wins the
one.
prediction.
I'm gonna say 150 DC RCB wins. Gagi, you're going to only bold move out here.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
wait and watch.
Yes,
एक
you can
second.
And
start chanting.
Guys,
RCB.
RCB. Chalo, I'll leave and
Yes. Thank
take
you
the
all for
interview,
watching,
guys.
and for those who have
Yeah.
joined, we hope you've enjoyed these pre-match shows. We'll keep you updated with the post-match as well. Thank you.
Thank you.